Elliott, he decided he needed to be on the bottom. That's a Chevrolet teammate. I mean, not a company teammate.
Oh, we got trouble. Tyler Reddick in the 42. That's Ryan Reed. Garrett Smithley through the grass. Spencer Gallagher gets a piece of it.
Oh, and they're still wrecking. William Byron. Kevin, you said it. You talk about mistakes on pit road, and look where that put Byron.
Yeah, you have to do everything you can to not make the little mistakes to try to avoid all this, because you never know when it's going to happen.
A guy get his momentum, and you hit them too hard, and around they go.
Watch the 42.
Off of the bumper. Of the 24 of Scott Lagasse, it looked like. And then they just kept wrecking at him. I'm surprised they couldn't get them woed down. That happened right near the front of the field.
Yeah, and I think what happened there is the 42 was almost going down, and it's like the car behind him, the 24, just got him off center in the bumper, and it just hooked him to the right as he was pushing him.
We saw the same thing last night in the Truck Series on lap 1. A bump draft gone wrong. And watch these guys just trying their best to work their way through this mess.
At 42 is Tyler Reddick driving.
Woohoo!
Third caution of the day at Daytona. Going to put the red flag out. 5 laps to go in stage 1 here at the World Center of Racing. Eric Almirola.
And watch the job this cat does. Look at that. The whole world's right in front of him, and around he goes, but no serious damage.
Brad Keselowski, who led a number of laps early, got shuffled out of the draft, lost track position. He did make a trip down pit road to get some damage repaired. 5 laps to go in the opening stage when we return. And we got a report now that we're back up to speed. All the drivers that came down pit road, went on the 5-minute clock, have met minimum speed, so their 5-minute clock is gone. Good news for them, and what a hard hit. Brandon Jones nose first into the outside wall.
Oh, man. That's a shame. Look at the cars. Brad Keselowski sneaks through again. Ryan Sieg's going to make it. But Brandon Jones, Daniel Suarez, Bubba Wallace. Look at Allgaier's car. Oh, Hemrick slides up the track, gets into Allgaier.
Jones hit it once, rebounded, got hit again, and turned once more. Exact same location into the wall.
Mike, I don't know if he got loose right there, if he was going up to get a side draft, or what really happened to the 21 right there to cause him to go up the track.
And possibly could he have hit some of that speedy drive maybe, and it made him just change lanes all so slightly. But you can see he's heading in the wrong direction when they come into turn 3.
I've been here before, and you go in there and you feel like you can't turn the wheel. You've been into turn 3 a lot where you feel like you can't turn the wheel, and it looks like it might be a similar situation to that, but he just goes up.
On board with Daniel Suarez.
11 still with you. Keep digging, keep digging, keep digging. We're in it, guys. We're in it here. Got hit from behind and nosed up to the pin. A lot of front damage. You all right, bud?
Listen to the violence of. Oh.
Yeah, and so what he wants to do is he wants to get right on the back bumper of that 88. And as soon as he gets there, it'll almost become dead air. And,
oh, there it is. The best car we thought all day long in a bump drafting mistake just went into the wall.
Number of big cars taken out in what is our 3rd big crash of the afternoon. And among them, the Dominator, Elliott Sadler.
Worse and worse. Austin Dillon approaching the 1, gives him a little bump, knocks him out of whack.
Even when these cars are square, they're just so light in the back that everything has to be absolutely perfect, or it causes another big wreck.
You know who this caution is big for? William Byron, who didn't pit under that last caution, took the wave around. He was not going to be good on fuel. Now he will be, and right now he scored in the top 10.
Just that easy to take the most dominant car of the day and crunch it up. And look at William Byron. You talked about him, Adam. He's off-roading through the grass. I don't think he hit anything. I don't know what his splitter, what kind of shape his splitter will be in, but he narrowly avoided that wreck.
So unfortunate for Elliott Sadler. You see Joey Gase, Ray Black Jr., Ryan Sieg.
Ryan Reed.
Just mowing the grass down that back straightaway.
Here at Smithley.
Wow. Just happens so fast.
Very, very tough situation for Elliott Sadler. 3 wide as they come through the tri-oval behind him. Reed looking for the checkers. He's going to get it. Second career victory at Daytona. And they're crashing as they come across the start-finish line.
It's over. Oh, my God!
Oh, we got a crash in turn.
Boston is here.
No caution. Caution will be out, though. Hold the brake. Hold the brake. You okay?
Bubba Wallace is racing on the inside of Austinville. You see Elliott Sadler get loose off the corner there. That opened the door for Byron, and bam. That's Cole Custer that drives into the side of Dillon. And unfortunately for Ryan Sieg, you can see Custer just couldn't get the car turned to the bottom. Maybe loose in, Kevin?
Yeah, sometimes when they get loose in, or you get on a splitter and you just can't get the thing to turn, or you don't want to turn the thing because you feel like it might spin out, and unfortunately Austin.
Dillon not happy with the rookie Cole Custer.
Yeah, and that's this kind of stuff that you don't really want to see. That's kind of Saturday night stuff there. It's racing, stuff happens.
Just get by another car so that you can't be taken out.
And like you guys said, I mean, NASCAR has been very clear that that's not something that they want to see in it.
Oh, that's not a good angle to hit the wall at. I've been there.
Obviously, it already gotten turned when we picked up the shot into the corner.
Again, you see another oil fire. Whenever you take these big hits with the front end of the car, all of the oil is contained.
For Joey Logano, who had made up all those positions. Look at that impact as he comes sliding through the bottom right corner of your screen.
There were 2 cars underneath him there, but
that wreck almost happened on the straightaway, Brad.
Yes.
Warming up the bottom.
Well, darn, that didn't work. There. 3 wide. Oh, my gosh. Oh, we got one spinning. 3 and 4. 6 car. Big wreck.
Some good cars involved. Teammates. 48 of Brennan Poole, 42 of Tyler Reddick.
Suarez gotten somebody. Whole bunch of cars in this wreck. This is the problem with yellows. And in the middle comes Bubba Wallace. The track's just too slick. It won't hold the grip. He spins here in front of the field. Lots of contact, all pretty light. A lot of guys very fortunate.
Kevin Harvick, Brandon Jones, Brendan Gaughan, all right there. Could have gotten damage. Watch the 23 of Spencer Gallagher, and our points leader Elliott Sadler right there as well.
There was a little bit of contact here with Tyler Reddick and Darrell Wallace, which might have caused some of the issues there, but still the track was very slick, and Bubba entered the corner with a lot of speed. It would have been hard to hold on to it either way.
Look at Allgaier go sliding by. Reddick with hard contact. I think that 48 car is done. It did look like that Reddick clipped Bubba Wallace right there and sent Bubba sliding.
Poole just went to the garage, and under NASCAR's new rules, if you're involved in a crash and you go to the garage, your day is done. So he is out for the afternoon. As you suspected, Michael, saw Justin Allgaier sliding down to the apron of the racetrack. Justin Allgaier continue to be the top 5, and here's the reason for the caution.
Yeah, it looks like just a classic example of just getting loose on entry, and it just never grabbed for him, and he was able to not able to save it. It's just a fine line up there. You know, there's like I said earlier, there's crumbs up there, and the higher you go, if it's clean, it's going to be faster. But when you get that much out of the groove, it gets loose like that, and you just can't save it.
Hey, Michael, you had a good view of that, I assume, up on the spotter stand?
Yeah, I know. As Star came off turn 4, really nothing you can do there. He was committed to try to get to the bottom of Black Jr., and he just...
He's up beside the 00. That outside lane is just working. Oh!
There goes Brandon Jones into Custer. They stay off the wall and continue on. No caution yet, but Custer goes way back there. And there's the caution. Big hit. Garrett Smithley into Wallace.
Bubba got spun around, slowing down back there in traffic. And when you spin your tires like that, try to stay off the wall.
And behind them.
Following you, still there, still there.
Riding with Wallace here.
Easy, check up, down. Keep coming. Keep coming. Come on, dude. Keep rolling. Get rolling again. Stop. You okay?
You see all that smoke? There's no way Smithley could see through that. His spotter trying to guide him through it as best he could.
Well, and Darrell had it beat down low. He got hit from behind. If he doesn't get hit from behind, he's going to drive below all that. Would have been the first car one lap down, would have been back on the lead lap.
Yeah, and the further back that accordion goes, the worse it gets, because it just keeps getting worse the further back it piles up.
Let's go back to Richmond. And we got trouble. Daniel Suarez off of turn 4, slid up into the outside wall. Damage for Harrison Rhodes in the 20. Kyle Benjamin, 48 of Brennan Poole, also sitting down on the apron. Play defense on the restart.
Looks like William Byron into the back of the 18 car of Suarez, and watch what happens after that. Brennan Poole trying to slip through. The 01 of Harrison Rhodes with contact.
Clear low.
He just got turned.
Yeah, the way William Byron went up the racetrack, it almost looked like something broke or had a flat tire, because it went straight up the racetrack. That may have happened to that 9 car.
Elliott Sadler had the early contact, made a pit stop at lap 9, dropped back to 30th, drove to 14th, now he's 28th, and here we go. Trouble on the track. 5 laps to go, stage 1, and the big one heading to turn 3 at Talladega.
Catch a peek at where it starts.
Taped up car middle of the screen is Brennan Poole.
Yeah, and it looked like Brennan just came up to try to get side draft, and a lot of times what happens is the guy in the middle comes up to side draft, the guy on the top comes down to side draft, and next thing you know, they make a little bit of contact, and there they go.
42's Tyler Reddick, a rookie, spinning on the apron.
Daniel Suarez involved.
See Brandon Jones there, the red and white 33 with damage on the front end. Looked like the 42 of Reddick was able to stay off the wall, didn't have any heavy contact.
That was strange looking. I don't.
Well, it looks like the 48 came up in that car that was just on his right rear, and it kind of just barely turned him to turn up into the middle of traffic. It's hard to tell right there.
I thought Hemrick was going to save that thing. Got shot back across the track into the outside wall. Heavy damage. He is likely done.
Looked like he tried to squeeze in a pretty tight hole there, Mike.
Yeah. It's just so inviting. You got that big run. You don't want to give up the run. You try to get into place.
1 lap to go. Stage 2.
Here comes the 3. They're 3 wide behind him. Back to the bottom here.
There goes Ryan Reed.
They're wrecking back there. Back to the bottom.
Martanois involved. Oh! Chris Cockrum, Cole Custer. Fourth caution of the day.
Like a bump draft going wrong. Eric Almirola was behind the 16 car. You can see Chris Cockrum nearly sneaking through there. Was there contact?
Man, it sure looked like he got loose, Michael. It looked like he went down and came back up. Hard to tell.
So close. Wow, that almost looks like he just went up to maybe.
Looked like he was going down and coming back up, and if it was contact, it was slight.
Going down on the bottom right here. One to go. Nothing else coming here.
On board with Harvick in the inside lane.
Sadler around.
Elliott Sadler, hard hit on that inside wall.
Outside the 9.
Caution number 11.
Starts.
Good to see Elliott Sadler out of the car. Here's what happened.
Like he bobbled a little bit on entry, and then that put the 42 of Tyler Reddick right on him. Maybe a little bit of contact there.
You know, sometimes you don't even need contact. I don't even know if he hit him. It's just when they're that close to you, it takes the air off the rear of your car and around you go.
Oh, great job by Ryan Sieg in that 39 car to get by without running into Sadler, but then inside wall, hard contact.
Talked about what a tough weekend it's been for Junior Motors. Was 10th. And Brendan Gaughan on pit road as well, Herm.
Slow on the left side. They had great strategy and really improved their race car, but that was a slow stop for the 62. The left front tire changer had an issue. Caution's out.
And there goes Ryan Reed spinning to bring out the caution for the 8th time tonight. It happened right by Christopher Bell, and he's got damage.
He got into the outside wall. Look at all the damage to that, to our leader.
Oh my, we're going to have to go back and see exactly what happened. Together, and the race leader nowhere to go.
48 made contact with the 16 of Reed, then the 48 came away from the 16, caught Christopher Bell in that right rear corner.
Such a tough break for Christopher Bell. He was definitely an innocent bystander on that one. You see the 48 get just a little bit loose. Probably didn't know that the 16 was coming with that much of a run to the outside of him right there.
You know, a decent amount of damage for Ryan Reed, but a great save. And as we look at the scoreboard here, he's still on the lead lap in 7th. We know he's got a set of tires. This is on board with Brennan Poole.
Inside 20, inside 4. Watch out.
Amazing job by Ross Chastain, the 4, to avoid that.
Daniel Suarez in the 18 also involved. Take another look, a closer look.
We see this on restrictor plate races all the time. The problem starts 3 or 4 rows, and then it gets worse as the wreck continues. It's just that accordion effect. It's just like wrecking on the interstate. Somebody slows down, 8 cars behind is where somebody hits somebody. So right there is the initial impact, but no big deal. But just the guys behind them couldn't slow down enough.
92 also slamming into the wall. That was Josh Williams.
Fortunately, there's the Blake Cook came back across the racetrack. Everybody was able to miss him.
Keep coming, keep coming. Pass up on pit road. You all right, buddy?
Out in front.
William Byron with a great job of that side draft to slow the 16 down.
Hard into the wall goes the 33. He collects the 5 of Michael Annette. Caution comes out. Numerous cars get caught up in this one.
See right here, Brandon Jones is just pushing, trying to get that run, pushing Eric Jones in front of him, who's into the rear bumper of Ryan Reed, and basically the push just gets too much. Justin Allgaier pushes the back of Brandon Jones. He gets into the outside wall, and from there, it's a chain reaction.
And you may say, well, why does Justin Allgaier get in there and push when, you know, the line in front of you is getting stacked up? Because you can't see. You have no idea what's going on 2 cars in front of you. So Justin Allgaier, he just knows he needs to push Brandon Jones. He's got to push him to make something happen, but he can't see the cars in front of him are having trouble.
And you see right here, this is what happens. They just get stacked up. The 20 is into the 16, the 33 is into the 20, and that's all it takes. He kind of either loses a little momentum or the 7 just hits him too hard. They spin around. And these cars behind, there's just nothing they can do. Very fortunate that 33 stayed on his wheels. You see the 42 through the grass. You know, this is always the concerning point. When cars start hitting other cars, we see them climb up and get airborne. Luckily, all these cars stayed on the ground.
It's plate racing. It's Steve, you said they're all racing. They're racing for their teams, their fans. This is the nature of plate racing. You have to push. You have to shove. If you don't, your line never moves. But when you do push and you do shove, we have these incidences. And listen, once this wreck starts, it's, as a driver, you know, it's a terrible feeling. You're hoping you don't hit anything.
And this is the shot. You see the cars dancing side to side, trying to get position, and then the 33 just gets spit out of line that quick. And from there, the major crash, and then all of these crew members, everyone that works on all of these cars right here, this is where the disappointment of speedway racing comes in. The long walk from pit road back to the hauler, knowing you had a chance. You built a car, you came down here, you worked all weekend long, your spotter, your driver were communicating, and one car pushes another, and they all crash.
Where you are, jump through there.
That was from Matt Tiff's perspective. After William Byron had the lead, Elliott Sadler decided, I'm going to go for this win as well as they come to the overtime line. Owen wrecking behind them. The field, did they get to the overtime line before the caution came out? That will be the question.
Don't let them get to you.
William Byron was out front. Light up above. They had already crossed past the overtime line. The wreck happened behind them. And then the caution comes out.
And you have to throw the caution. I mean, there's a huge wreck on the back straightaway. You can't send these cars back around through that wreck under green. So throwing the caution is a no-brainer here.
Well, we saw with Eric Almirola with his injury at Kansas that the assumption of any sort of injury is a mistake. Anytime you have any sort of contact like that, NASCAR has to assume they need to dispatch safety vehicles, not to mention the debris on the racetrack.
With William Byron out front, the wreck happens behind him.
You know, Rick, it was kind of jumbled up from the word go. I mean, they on board here with Scott Lagasse Jr. Look, he's looking to that third lane, trying to get this run. And the zero of Garrett Smithley either didn't know he was there or thought he could block that run. He moved up.
Green flags in the air. We're racing in Kentucky. And they bottle up in the start-finish line. The 62 is around. Caution out immediately. You see the damage to the 33 early. Team.
Yeah, watch the 18 car. He looks like he gets really slow right here, and I think that just stacks everybody up behind.
You see the 62 gets the first car spun around. I'm not sure the 18 gets slower, just doesn't go. It looks to me like the rest of the field tries to time the restart and accelerate into the back of the front row. And
he went with the flag went, though. The flag's waving. And remember, at the initial start of the race, there is no restart zone. Right. It's the initial start of the race. It's the flagman dropping the green flag. So I think he went when the flag dropped.
Ready, going late. Green flag, back up, stay up.
Yeah, just missed time. When you're in a car and you're in a line, you can't see what's ahead of you 4 or 5 rows. And the 19 of Tiff pushing to 7 pushing. They're just all running into each other.
And a very close call for the 1 of Elliott Sadler. He was just in front of all of this taking place.
That's on Regan Smith.
He's still there. Smith shutting the door. Contact. And now contact from behind. The 48 of Brennan Poole gets into Blake Cook. He can't stop the spin. And now contact behind them. Carnage coming out of turn 5. And this is not what Blake Cook needed. One of the drivers on the bubble for the playoff.
Another Jeremy Clements right there. Decided to stick his nose in there once again. That sent Blake Cook spinning.
Poole escapes. Kennedy escapes.
Yeah,
Reed, piled into by Gallagher, had nowhere to go.
Yeah, just nothing you can do. You can't see up there when you're going single file there and you're just gassing up and you're trying to get through there. And this is what will happen then.
You talked about those blind corners, and you're racing, right?
Yeah, looked like Ben Kennedy got a little damage maybe to the door. I don't know that it got into the right rear tire for him. They'll have to check that probably.
Give a listen here. We're going to hear some tires that are angry. sheet metal, or a little of both.
Well, Blake Cook is...
Here comes James Davison right there, too, to take that second spot away from Hornish.
Contact behind, Regan Smith into the 42, and Marks is around. Oh, and now piled into, nowhere to go, the 16 of Ryan Reed. Caution displayed immediately. That 16 is going nowhere.
Start, and when that happens with the leader, then everything jams up from back inside there. You can see Regan Smith just got loose there, and as he tried to correct, the 42 of Justin Marks was right there and sent him spinning.
And pow! Into the left rear comes Ryan Reed. Another look at it coming off the corner, cleanly through on the inside. 62 and 4. Oh, nearly into him was the 07 of Lally. He gets by. May have been the last one with a clear look at the 42.
Yep. That was a great restart there. As you can see, look, I'm not sure if the 18 got tapped there a little bit, or if it was just getting over on that curbing and lost grip there. Those you can run across those okay if you're kind of up to speed and as you try to get a
strong run here this afternoon. All got started around J.J. Yaley, Dylan Lupton, and the 39 of Ryan Sieg.
Yeah, I think William Byron was involved in that too, as I see from one of our other cameras. He's got a lot of front end damage.
They go through turn one. Sam, like I say, Sam really had to woe it down to make that corner, DJ. Hemrick almost got into the back of him.
Yeah, I think William Byron might have started that spin right behind Elliott Sadler, and that's what triggered all of this, I believe. You can see the 9 car there right in the front of that. He's able to continue, but I believe it was him getting sideways there in turn one.
And then it's Balicki who meets Lupton nose to nose. 5 of Michael Annett. I think he got it woed down. Yep, backing up now.
You can see the 9 car. But he was actually spinning across in front, actually going across to the other side.
Ryan Sieg took evasive action down to the right.
Looks like they're stopping them. We're going to put the red flag out here. As you can see William Byron right there. You can see him get sideways just behind Elliott Sadler. I don't know if they were all checking up because Hornish had slowed down so much. That's been the thing here.
He is going to do it. Gets by the 4 of Chastain. And Davison is going to move through too, and there's contact, and contact again. And off goes the 42 of Marks. 22 of Cindric is around, trying to avoid. And a lot happened right there, coming uphill.
Yeah, it looks like a little contact there with
Chastain and Marks.
Yeah.
Yep, that seems to be what got it started.
You know, Marks, he didn't do anything that it looked like that created an issue getting down into that corner. I guess Ross Chastain's maybe a little bit upset.
Felt like he had one of his fenders in there, and Marks came back across, and Davison was just an innocent bystander, as was Cindric in the 22.
Yeah. I don't think Cindric got a lot of damage. You can see just crazy racing here for the last lap of the stage that, you know, for a number of the drivers right there, it wasn't going to mean anything to them as far as the points go.
Yeah, Davison
and Marks had gotten themselves back in a really, really good spot to go challenge for the win in this.
Well, Jeff, we're really focused on the top 3, top 4, but you mentioned it as you see Brandon pull an aggressive move on Cole Custer. Gets behind the left rear quarter.
Oh, around goes to 33. So Brandon Jones, and there's contact. The 93 gets into him.
Got hit hard right rear.
And just snuck through there was the 19 of Matt Tiff.
Take a look. The 33 slid up the racetrack.
It just looked like he was underneath Casey Mears and just no air on the side of the car, and he just spun out. So right here he's got the brakes locked up, but you mentioned self-cleaning. That's a great example. The banking is so severe here that the car just didn't stay on top of the banking and it slid down.
Trying to save it there, trying to drive the car even while it was sideways.
So see, right, all the brakes are locked up. There you go.
Yes, you see onboard Ryan Reed, that Ford Performance onboard camera is a great shot about how Ryan, he just kind of didn't do anything. He let the wreck happen in front of him and then snuck through. And as I mentioned, Matt Tiff, you said it at the start, had to go to the back because of that flat tire. Well, I won't say lucky, I'll say nice job. He gets on the brakes, gets a shot from behind, and that's really what I think what got the 93 out of control is you know, that's the thing. How much do you slow down, right? It's that chain reaction. It's like driving down the interstate. Someone gets on the brakes, the accident normally is behind them.
Well, you can do a nice job
here. That was a hard hit to the rear end of the 33 as well as the front of that 93.